Women of Reddit, what is something you have always wanted to ask men? What actual response are you expecting / hoping for when you send unsolicited stick pics to girls? A stick pic back. Why do you sit on the toilet so damn long? Wipe and leave like the rest of us. Why do you go to the bathroom with 8 other girls? We're asking the questions tonight. Okay, fine, you want to know the truth, that bad, right? Here it is. We are finding our partner the perfect Christmas gift. Also, we see you guys trying to unlock our phones to see what we are getting y'all. Do guys compare stick sizes? No. I have never recreationally shown my penis to another man. Me either, I only show it for professional reasons. No, you can say hey my stick's bigger than yours to your friends as a joke, but no guy is whipping out his stick like let's prove it. It's a joke that gets tossed around, not something to take seriously. With some friends, but not in person. More of just get a number and throw it out there and see how they compare. We then compare the numbers to people's personalities to define what big stick energy is and what small stick energy is. Do you like / want female friends? It really seems like most men don't want to connect with women unless there is sex involved. I feel like I tend to wind up with more female friends than male. Couple of reasons for this. 1. My industry is majority women, so work friends tend to mostly be women. 2. I lack some traditional male interests such as sports. That being said, I do have friends of both genders, and it tends to ultimately wind up being more about personalities or interests aligning. Being a heterosexual male, I sometimes do find myself falling for my friends that are women, which I think is pretty natural. After all, I want to be friends with my romantic partners, duh. All that to say, that basically it comes down the individual, and even then it can be complicated, and all this is like, just my opinion, man. I love having female friends. It actually lets me get a different perspective on a certain topic or issue that may have a different response from the opposite gender, among many other things such as advice on certain things regarding women that I may not be sure about. Easily being able to ask questions that are kind of weird about women and get a reliable answer. Generally being able to establish a connection with someone and be friends with them. Being able to freak out with them if their dress has pockets. Female friends are definitely something most guys won't shy away from. Why are men obsessed with anal? Definitely depends on the guy. I certainly am not, to the point that I avoid anal porn like the plague, but I think for some guys it might be the taboo of it. Because they've heard nice things and can't imagine what it's like without having tried. It's no different from people obsessed or curious with sex before having had it. Why do you always fart when you pee? Can't make rain without a little thunder. Gonna use this, just gotta find the right context. The best one I've found is when someone asks why you fart when you pee. Wait, so you have to push your pee out? Wow, till. Women just sort of relax and it comes out without effort. I mean, I can't speak for all of us, but I can't take forever at the urinal. Gotta speed it up, lol. No, but if I'm in a hurry or in a public toilet surrounded by other dudes peeing and waiting to pee, I need to add some force to get out of there faster. Same. We don't have to force it, unless we're old and have prostate problems, but we can. Urinal shyness. Being unable to relax enough to go because the damn things are placed so close together it violates personal space, and walls between are a luxury not a right, is such a prevalent problem a ton of guys force it no matter what. Now clenching the same muscles used to orgasm, and I think are the same or similar muscles used for kegels, at the end. That's super helpful. It's the best tool we have for making sure the last dribbles end up in the urinal and not in our shorts. No, it might actually have adverse effects to the prostate if you push too hard. It comes out without effort for us as well, but there might be pressure from your surroundings to hurry up. It's the same thing with standing and peeing. Most men always stand if they have to pee. I'm a lazy freak, and if the toilet is sanitary, I'll plop my sass down, read Reddit and let it flow. As you relax, your sphincter opens up a bit to let air escape. Hence, why I fart during peeing. Can you switch the position of your balls? Well, depends on what you mean. We cannot put the right on the left. But we do shift them almost every 5 to 20 minutes depending on how hot it is. The bag will stick to the leg and we take a wider step to reset it. Sounds exhausting. As a guy, I'm sure it's not as exhausting as periods. Why do some men not have soap in their bathrooms? They're nasty. I have one. Are your nipples always erect, or do they go down like ours? Every time I see a guy's nips they are hard, but that could be because they are shirtless or it's sexy time. I asked one of my brothers at Thanksgiving, and he just laughed in my face. Reddit, you're my only hope. Never really thought about it. They only get noticeable hard when I'm having fun or it's cold. Our nipples get erect when we are horny or it's cold, not always, lol. Nipples change under the same basic circumstances as yours. It's just harder to notice because the size of the nipples and areola are typically smaller. What's something you wish more women would say / do early on in dating? As in offer to pay during first dates, etc. Treat each other as equals and not forcing the guy to pay for everything. It should be 50 / 50. Not 99 / 1. Don't know if everyone feels like this. Yep, while I'm fine with paying for stuff, I'm not rich and I would much rather go halves on most things. Despite everything you've seen on the internet about how women hate it, why do you still think saying something sexual or showing us your stick right away in messages will make us want you? Why don't you grasp that if you held off on that shit for a while and got to know us as people, you would actually get laid? On behalf of 98% of men, we don't. But hey, you're on Reddit, so you might actually get a few legit responses from the socially and emotionally inept. I get that it's not all guys, trust me. But I've even had conversations where we were happily talking about similar interests and then suddenly it was like, hey, want to see my cock? And it's like a punch in the chest. You realize they aren't really interested in being companionable, they were just looking for a spot in the conversation to get sexual. It would probably be impossible to describe in a meaningful way. But when we get turned on for whatever reason, like for instance any interaction with anyone we are even remotely interested in, it honestly feels like our IQ drops 50 points, and we get a mental tunnel vision. That is when social norms etc. go out the window. Even when I am interested in being companionable, that emotionally takes the back seat to I am horny for the duration of me being horny. The mental tunnel vision takes over. We return to normal after jacking off. That is when what we call post-nut clarity set in, with all the shame and introspection that involves. It honestly is a pretty weird experiences, but generally I don't think it sinks into most guys that women don't generally have the same thing. Where does your penis go when you sit down on the toilet? Like how big do you have to be before you have to worry about touching the water in the bowl? The penis hands down and in front. You usually have to worry about touching the front of the bowl if you have an erection at roughly 4 to 5 inches, or soft if you're a shower who is 8 inches or more, depending on the toilet bowl. Be honest. If a girl outsmarts you in just about everything that you do, does it hurt your ego? Work or at home? But you know she isn't putting you down. It's just the fact that you know she's way smarter than you. No. If a person outsmarts me in just about everything, then it hurts my ego. Their sex has nothing to do with it. Do you guys care about lingerie, or is it not a big deal? The lingerie itself matters less than the mindset of a woman who wears it. That said, sometimes it is a strikingly good look. Translation: yes. And it's best when you're all into wearing it as much as we're all into seeing you wear it. I find it a turn on that she went way out of her way for me. Naked is great. Anything thigh-high, stockings or socks I do find hot. Personally, I find a woman in lingerie more sexy than a naked one. Imagination is one hell of a drug. Oh, we do. We do. Apparently. I suppose. Do we? No. It's like the wrapping of a present. Nobody cares about the wrapping, but you just know you're going to get excited about what's inside. Maybe.